leave my place, go clear it, and be back at my house. Found out that the other two, like my roommate and our third guy there, got called to work Saturday, which is normally their days off, Saturday and Sunday, to make up because I had 40 more minutes to get here. Well, then I do end up getting called Saturday halfway through the day, so I'm waiting outside because they made a big stink about that on literally our first day. They were, our third guy that we usually work with sometimes. He wasn't waiting outside, and it was like a minus 30 day, and he wasn't waiting outside for us, and he made our crew manager put up a big stink about it. And I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna give him a reason to stink. I was like, now I'm locked out. Fine, you can come, but I'm not leaving again. I had to take him to the hospital. Tuesday comes. We go through our list, and we get to the places that the other crew supposedly were dealing with, or that they dealt with. And they told us not to worry about because they did. So we get to one, and it's probably the biggest, one of the more important of our list because it's one of the most busier traveled. And we got there, and it was absolutely horrendous. Like, it was disgusting. It was super wet, thick, slushy snow. Like, it was really trampled. It looked like it hadn't been touched in a couple days. Which, I mean, obviously I know that wasn't the case, but that's just, it's a super busy area of town. And they just didn't seem to care about it, which sucks because we honestly hate when it's the weekend and they're doing our properties because they do a bad job. They don't do a good job, and then they usually leave big berms of snow in front of like our wheelchair ramps and stuff like that, and then our properties are end up calling our like boss of the company and being all like, yo, they gotta clear these berms in front of the wheelchair ramps so people can like use them and stuff like that. So we end up getting called back because it's our property, even though it was their job that day and all that, which obviously is not going to make anyone thrilled when they're having to clean up other people's messes. I'm never a fan of that. Never have been, and I'm sure I never will be. I can say that with a lot of confidence. Also, like, we finished up finally. And I took our one guy home, sent a message to our crew manager saying that we were done. Sent him our times, all that. Get into my house. Like, literally sit down. And my roommate gets a call saying that we need to go back out and check one of their places. So again, not thrilled. Nice spot, buddy, that we're having to do that because, you know, particularly not a fan of having to clean up their messes, like I said before. So while we're there, it's a fairly big place. Keep in mind, since we're going back, this is the like afternoon or whatever after my roommate had been in the hospital, and he wanted to come back out since it was one place. He wanted to see how he was feeling, and he was up for the task. So me and him went up back, and before we went back, actually, our third guy was going to come with us, but we ended up getting a call a couple minutes after we got told to disperse again that his dog got hurt, and someone like fell on his dog's leg or something like that, and it like wasn't moving very well and like couldn't walk and all that stuff, which obviously you don't want to hear. And again, health stuff, we were like, no, like, stay with your dog, like, make sure your dog's okay, like, it's not that big of a deal, it's just one property, like, we can handle it, the two of us, not a big deal. No, I should have my sniper. So we're out cleaning up these dudes' stuff for them, and again, we pull up, and it looks like it hadn't been touched in a long time. So we get out, we're cleaning it up, we're scraping all the snow off, and again, it's one of the more busy, important properties, all of the businesses combined. It's one of the more important ones, and they just left it looking like shit, honestly. And so again, we're not happy because we're cleaning up their mess again. And while we're there, I'm doing like one little section, like so what this place is, it's like a big strip mall. There's like a liquor store, there's a couple little restaurants, and then there's another restaurant. So there's a couple different places and sidewalks we gotta clear. And we were pretty much near the end, and boss, like the owner of the company or whatever, pulls up, and I'm doing one of the smaller ones, and my roommate is doing the other one that's kind of close but not right on. Yeah, the boss shows up and he comes to talk to Meech. I'm like, okay, so I stop shoveling, talking, and he proceeds to just start asking me a bunch of questions about my roommate and his injury and all that stuff. And that's something that is personal. I think if someone's gonna share that kind of stuff, it should be that person who's dealing with it themselves, and not really anyone else, because it honestly isn't anyone else's business. And that's where I sit with that. So I wasn't comfortable really disclosing. I was also asked not to. Like, it wasn't work related, so like it didn't really need to be, which is fine. But he just kept asking me all these questions, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, I can't really give the answer, or I'm not comfortable giving that answer. Meanwhile, he keeps looking back over his shoulder at my roommate, who's 20 feet away. Ooh, that's one. Boom. Boom. Yeah. So anyways, like, he just keeps asking me, but he keeps looking at my roommate while he's talking to me and asking me all these questions about my roommate. So I'm sitting there like, why don't you just go ask him? And then he's like, yeah, well, just get him to get a hold of me. And I'm like, okay. And then he gets in his truck and leaves, which is confusing. But we were pretty much done there, so we got in our work van and we left. And I told him, I was like, yeah, he just told me to basically tell you to get a hold of him. And then he even did the same. Why didn't he just come talk to me? I was like, I don't know why he was grilling me about that. So anyways, we're done. We get back to our place. And then our crew manager decides to start texting me a bunch about our other guy and like why he wasn't with us. And I was like, oh well, I guess his dog hurt herself and couldn't walk very well. He's like, oh, well, I talked to him like 10 minutes before you guys went out and he didn't say anything. I was like, yeah, he talked to us about 5 minutes before we went out, because it like supposedly had just happened. But I don't know exactly what happened. Like, he didn't tell me much. He just said like his dog was in pain, wasn't moving very well, and I was like, we were like, like, health is an important thing. Like, look after your dog. Like, it's not a big deal, like we said. But he just proceeded grilling me, asking me questions like, oh well, why this, why that? And I'm like, again, I don't know. Stop asking me, because I can't give you the answers that you want to know. And again, it's not my business to be sharing with other people. So I'm not going to be sitting here sharing other people's business with other people. So, and that's what I said. If you want to know, why don't you ask him? Because at this point, I was getting fed up, because I had just been everyone's just asking me questions about other people all day. And that's on top of all the stupid plan changing, all like just all the little bit, and it's just starting to build up, and it just keeps kind of slowly building up. How do you feel, buddy? Yeah, and it's just they've been doing a really good job at getting on our nerves. They just can't stop changing their plans. Like, they just can't stick to anything, and it's really annoying when time's being wasted just because someone keeps changing their mind. Like, they're very indecisive, which, and like I keep saying, is super annoying. The way that they keep going about everything is super annoying. I don't know. I needed to kind of rant about this a little bit, get it off my chest, because like I said at the start, it's Christmas Eve. I don't want to be going back hanging out with my family with a bunch of built up tension, and I also don't want to have some kind of fallout at work of any sorts. I don't think it's necessary. Should we discuss the way things are going at work? Yes, I do think we should. However, that being said, I don't want to be in a pissed off mindset and just agitated by every slight thing about them. I guess that's pretty much it. Oh, also, just for conversation purposes here now, pretty much. One of our properties has this like exhaust vent that's probably like 12-15 feet in the air. It just kind of slowly drips, and it's just been accumulating all winter. Like it's an area, or whatever. And it's like I'd say it's roughly the width of my head, and it's about that thick, and it's a good like 3-4 feet tall. Like it's pretty cool. And like there's like the base section like is like that big, and it's clear, and then there's a section above it like that, and it's like kind of cloudy, and then there's a section above it that's clear, and then it goes cloudy. It's really cool. It's really interesting. Oh no, you got in my way! I'm never gonna get my care package. It's all my teammates' fault. 110%. My teammate's fault. Just walks in the way like that. Ugh, if I swing fishes.
Sitting throwing rocks across the pavement, hoping it'll cave in and swallow me whole. Wondering where my mind keeps up.
How? How? But anyways, that's pretty much gonna wrap it up. I don't really have anything else to rant about, at least on that topic. If you're still here, thank you so much for watching / listening. I hope you have a great day. By the time you see this, it's probably going to be after Christmas. So I hope you have / had a good holidays, especially under the circumstances. Most people aren't able to do a whole lot with their families or anything like that. So I hope everyone just stays safe, has a good time, has a happy holidays. I will talk to you guys later.